Hey y'all, welcome back to Sip and Dip with Chelsea. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I accomplished this marble dip powder nail design, and we're going to be chatting about some of the frequently asked questions on my last marble video, such as how to have this be less wasteful, what do I do with the extra dip powder, and things like that. So let's get started. As you may have noticed, I have short nails, so my middle fingernail broke, so I chopped them all down. Y'all know I love a good fresh chop and reset, so the universe said it is time. As I always do, I have peel base on my nails, so when you see that shine, that is what that is. Peel base lets me switch up my manicures often without soaking in acetone, but definitely skip this product if you want your manicure to last. I decided to use Kiara Sky's liquids today because it's a very straightforward process, so I don't need a slow dry liquid. To help the marble colors really pop, I'm going to be doing this Veronica, which is a French white from Revel Nail. I'm going to start by doing a full coat across my entire nail and then pouring the powder over top. I'm not too concerned with this looking perfect. It's just going to help give an even, clean base underneath the marble design. White dip powder can be notoriously tricky to use, so you're going to see on my middle finger here, I accidentally rushed the peel base and it goes on a little bit patchy, but again, it's not going to matter. It's okay if this first layer goes on a little bit patchy or something happens. We're going to go over top with the marble dip powder. Once you're done and they're dry, we're going to use our stiff scrub brush to dust everything off. So here's that bare spot on my middle finger that I was mentioning earlier, but I promise you guys, it's no big deal. We're gonna fix it. So if your nail looks like this, it's gonna be all right. This is my recycling tray. It's definitely a ride or die product for me. I've had for a few years. I've featured it at least a dozen times. I use this for marble, for French manicures. You can use it to pour over top. The little trays come out. It's super handy. I've also seen others who like to do marble designs in plastic spoons. So if you don't have this product, you can also use a little plastic spoon. So this is all we're gonna need is just this top section here. Now with my clear dip powder and a swatch stick, I'm going to measure it out by doing one swatch stick. That is it. This is how I'm going to be less wasteful with the dip powder. So now I'm going to pour this down into my little tray here. You can also, like I said, do a plastic spoon if that's what you have on hand. And in order to see if this is enough product to do the marble dip powder design, all you have to do is do a little test run. So lay your finger into this clear dip powder and make sure when you lay it in that it's not touching the bottom, so the plastic or the sides, anywhere touching that, because you don't want the nail to go all the way down through the dip powder. Here are the two shades that I grabbed for this marble dip powder design from Revel Nail, and I'm going to use that same swatch stick doing a teensy tiny bit of dip powder. That's it, and we're just going to sporadically tap it across the clear. No rhyme or reason, just anywhere all across the powder. I'm going to follow the same steps for the purple, so get a tiny bit on my swatch stick and then just sporadically tapping it across the clear and the pink. Now with a toothpick, I'm going to make small little swirls, just moving the color around to get that marble effect. And once I'm happy with it, then I'm going to tap it on my desk to level it all out so I can see how it's looking. So I see a lot of the color has migrated over to the edges and not so much in the center. So I'm going to go back over with a tiny bit more of pink in the middle of my clear areas where I see bare spots. Same with the purple again, and do another little round of swirling. If you would rather have more clear and less color, you definitely can do that. It's going to be your personal preference on how much color you would like. So I'm going to gently swirl. I don't want to disturb it too much. Tap it on my desk to level it. And here's how we're looking. You see how I can see the clear spirals in between? That's what I'm looking for. Now with my base liquid, I'm going to do a full layer across the entire nail. You can lay your nail multiple ways. You can do it like this or like this. So whatever feels more natural to you. So we're going to go in and make sure you're not touching the plastic, just the top of the dip powder. And that's it. That's how simple it is. So here you can see I'm just going to tap everything to kind of bring it back towards center, get it all back into one spot. And then I can see again, I've got some clear area. So I'm going to add a teensy tiny bit once again, right on top of the clear. Do the same with the purple and then swirl. I don't want to disturb the color too much, so I'm going very light on my swirls, tap it all to make sure it's nice and centered, and I can see it looks good. So I'm going to do a full coat of my base liquid across the entire nail. Remember, we're going to fix this middle finger and lay it in the color. You're not even going to notice. It's just going to help that color pop. And here it is. Tapping the tray to get everything back centered. I see I do have a lot of clear right here in the center again, so I'm going to add some more pink and a little bit more purple. Doing small swirls and then just tapping the tray on my desk to make sure it's nice and level. We're going to follow the same instructions, doing a full coat on our ring finger and then gently laying the finger on top of the powder. Here's how it looks. I'm really happy with it so far, so I'm going to do the same thing. You can see I do have a lot of clear now showing up. That's totally normal. It happens as you're laying your nail in. You're going to keep picking up that color, but it's totally personal preference. If you like more of the clear showing, you can definitely do less color. It's all going to come down to what you want your marble to look like. I personally like a lot of color, so that's why I keep adding more with each nail. So same steps, do a full coat on the entire nail, gently lay your nail flat, make sure you're not touching the plastic, and that's it. All right, y'all, the million-dollar question, what do you do with the dip powder when you're done? So this is going to be personal preference as well. You can get these little jars at the Dollar Tree. I get mine on Amazon. If you want to store this excess powder, you can create your own little catch-all dip powder that you can still reuse and dip into. It's going to be up to you on how you use this excess powder. Don't forget, if you're going to do matching hands, you're not going to have as much waste because you would go on to do your right hand as well. If you want to toss it, you can toss it. I just wanted to show y'all an updated video on how to use less product. So all I needed was one swatch stick full of clear and then teensy bits of color each time. I normally like a stiff scrub brush, but I'm going to use a fluffy one today because I don't want to accidentally scrub these neons and make them bleed onto the white. Now it's time to clear encapsulate to protect our marble. So we're going to do another full coat of our base liquid across the entire nail, and I'm just going to pour the clear dip powder over top. Again, this is going to serve to protect the color when we go to file, shape, and buff. I see it's a little wet, so I'm just going to pour right back over. I do believe that with each nail that you marble, it gets a little bit better. The colors get mixed in a little bit more with the clear. You're adding a little bit more color maybe. They just seem to blend and swirl with each nail that you do. So my thumb is actually my favorite, but just a fun little tidbit. If you start to notice that, you may notice your last finger might look the best. Now it's time to activate, so I've got my Seal and Protect here. I'm just going to apply a very generous layer of this to each of the nails to harden the base liquid so we can file, shape, and buff. After 2 minutes have passed, then we can shape. So with my 100/180 grit nail file, I'm just going to go around my free edge first. I'm really happy with how they're looking. It's not too bulky. I don't have any ridging. So I'm not going to use this on top of my nails this time. I'm just going to go in with my little buffing block. It all went on very smooth. So that means I'm going to have an easy time when I go to file, shape, and buff. So now with this little buffing block, I'm just going to smooth everything out. And then we're going to add another layer of activator. This is in real time. It's not sped up. So that's how fast it would be for smoothing it out. Super easy and simple. So I'm going to do that for the rest of my nails. Short nails for the win. That was really fast. So we're going to dust it off and add another layer of our Seal and Protect. So just another generous layer, making sure I cap off those edges and then let this dry for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes have passed, I'm going to use a dry lint-free wipe. You can also use a napkin and just rub it across the entire top surface of the nails. Now with my top coat, I'm going to do 3 quick strokes on the nail. That's it. That's all I do for my first layer. Once it's dry, you'll see it has a little bit of a wrinkle look to it. Then you know you can go in for that second layer. The second layer now is more precise and more detailed, making sure we get all the way to those sidewalls and really capping off our free edge. Although this is a dip powder design, it's not one that you need slow dry liquids for, so that's why I grabbed these ones. I really enjoy them. That's why I feel they're used in salons so often, not just the quality, but the dry time. They don't want clients to have to sit and wait. So this top coat dries really fast. It's got a great high shine to it, so it's perfect for a marble or just a straightforward dip powder manicure. Here it is. Like I said, the top coat dried really fast. I've got my cuticle oil on, And this is my updated, less wasteful marble dip powder design. Just 1 scoop of clear and a little tiny bit of color with each nail. I am sitting here in my long sleeve shirt, but these colors make me so excited for warmer weather. They are so bright and cheery and fun. And thank you guys so much for being here, for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see y'all next week.